Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Seaver Show. Today, we're diving into a little sports betting topic here. We don't have any parlays for you today. Just an interesting little odds matchup that Austin actually found for us. If you want to break it down.
Yeah, so I saw an interesting post on DraftKings. I found the odds. Turns out the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Dallas Cowboys both have equal plus 900 odds to win their respective sports championship. I figured since both of these teams have all the media behind them basically every single year to win and the pressure to win. Neither of them has won recently. So I figured we'd get into this and figure which one would you take at plus 900 and why?
So this one was hard, like you said. The Cowboys haven't won since the '90s, and the Leafs haven't won it since '67. So it's been neither of them have won it in a year that starts with two. Um, But after going through looking at all of it, kind of looking at the trends this year, and then just looking at kind of the leagues themselves, and even though winning a Super Bowl or a Stanley Cup isn't easy, I kind of looked at it as statistic or like in history, which one has been easier to win, and I think that's the Super Bowl. So I'm picking the cow. I would pick the Cowboys at plus 900, because once again, they have one of the best rosters from top to bottom in the entire league. Um, it's hard not to put them like they say every year, this is our year. I mean, yeah, it could be and it should be, but you guys never find a way to get there. But between these two teams, I would pick them. It's just a matter of, I mean, Dak's a system quarterback, needs to get the ball into his playmakers' hands. You got Pollard, Zeke, Lamb, Gallup, Schultz, OBJ question mark. We'll see what happens with that. And then obviously the defense is stacked at all three levels as well. And then looking at the Leaf side, even though Marner and Matthews tandem is having a great start to the year, they got 72 points combined. It seems like one, if not both of them, fall off come playoff time. They're it just seems like their offense kind of sputters out come playoff time. Um, Even though after the departure of Jack Campbell, they've had a big hole to fill in the net. And it seems like they found their guy in the meantime with Ilya Samsonov. He's got a 9-2 record, NHL best, 1.70 goals allowed per game right now. So the Maple Leafs look like they're close to getting over that playoff hump of finally getting out of the first round. But in my eyes, I don't think that they have what it takes to win the cup this year. So if I had to pick between the two, I'd say Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you simply just on the first point that you made, the degree of difficulty in order to win the championship. In football, you have to win 4 postseason games, 3 if you're the number 1 seed.
Yep.
In hockey, you got to win 16.
Yeah.
So just the degree of difficulty, just in the order of sheer games you have to win, that stacks the odds against the Leafs, as far as taking them in the bet. Then, like you said, Dallas, they added T.Y. Hilton. Jerry Jones just made the comment yesterday that they are indeed adding him, OBJ, to the roster. That should be happening on Monday, I believe. Signing a deal for $1 million just to do basically rehab. They're not sure if he's going to be able to play at all, but he is going to join the team and do rehab and all that type of stuff, according to what I've read and the stuff that I've heard. That bringing in T.Y. Hilton and OBJ at this point, they're not looking for games. They're looking for one play. If they can make one play for them to help them get to that Super Bowl, that's all they need.
Right.
And they're set up perfectly, bearing today's or tomorrow's game, excuse me. Um, they can find themselves in a lot of trouble. I was just looking at it. They could easily lose these last 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Go on the road, first round of the playoffs, could be out.
Yeah.
Or they could win out. Eagles could lose out. It's a wild handful of weeks left here. But yeah, just pure degree difficulty. Cowboys, I would take as the easier chance to hit for that bet. And the Leafs, like you said, we've seen this with the Oilers for 3-4 years now. 2 superstars, and I mean superstars, can't win you a Stanley Cup. It just can't. You
Right.
need two superstars. You need a goalie. You need a couple veterans that play well. Like you just need the perfect mix of guys. Where in football, you could have a lights out quarterback. We've seen Tom Brady. We've seen Eli Manning. We've seen quarterbacks do it before, play out of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need in a football game.
Right. And I think in hockey too, I think the trend, and obviously the Avs proved that last year. I think the trend, it's starting to get more popular, but Cale Makar, I think what every team needs to get to go the distance is a do-it-all defenseman, a guy who can do it on both sides of the eye. Obviously, not there aren't Cale Makars just floating in the air that you can just go grab one, but if you can mold a guy or find a guy who's kind of that hybrid that you can build up to be kind of a two-way defenseman, like I think that's the like the if you want to get that far, that's the missing piece. Like you said, it's not enough to just have two guys you can go score. Even having a decent goalie sometimes isn't enough. It's okay, what are your defensemen doing? And I think Kale McCarr is a big part of that. And the the Leafs obviously don't have that. They don't have a two-way defenseman.
Yeah, and it's really hard across the league. There's maybe 4 or 5 defensemen that I could name that I could put in that same two-way defenseman category of such, like Makar.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So
Right.
there's maybe 5 in the entire league. Um, yeah, when you don't have that, you just need more shutdown defensemen. You can't give up as many goals. When you do have the lead, you got to protect it. And that's where I feel like the Leafs have always ran into their problem. They try to get in these shoot, running gun style games, 7-6, 6-5. They need to, they can score, get their goals that they need to hit, lock it down.
Right.
That would be my advice to them going forward is just when you do have that lead, you're not taking your foot off the gas. You're just directing your game in a different direction and shutting them down, pucks in deep, every puck on net, that type of shit, instead of, oh, we're up 3. Okay, let's try to set up something really cool here and let's try to go up 4.
Right. I get like for this year, so obviously both teams are plus 900 to win it this year. Should neither team win it this year, looking forward, who do you think, would you still say Cowboys future years have the best odds to win a Super Bowl? Or do you think that the Leafs, I guess, looking beyond this year, 5-year window, who would have the best chance, do you think, to win their respective championship?
I think in that question, I think the Leafs have a better chance because they're going to make the playoffs every single year. Cowboys, I think when is Micah Parsons due up for a contract after this next year? So this year, and then he has one more, or
I
is it
think
after
so.
this? Whenever his contract comes up, that's when the Dallas Cowboys is over. That motherfucker's gonna get so big of a bag. Other people aren't gonna be able to stay. Like it is
Yeah.
what it is. Like when you have a generational a player like that, you give him the bank,
Hmm. I mean, like, look at
and
look
that
at
destroys
Roger
teams.
Rogers in Green Bay. It's kind of
It
the same
destroys
situation.
it
Yeah.
destroys teams. Yeah. And that real quick, I know we didn't really plan this, but did you hear about how Love already informed the Packers that if he doesn't plan to start next year, he's requesting a trade?
Yeah, I saw that.
What
So
do you
that's
think about that? I mean, I
it
respect
doesn't
it. The kid,
yeah, I
I mean, I would too if I was him. He's proven enough to me that he can play.
yeah, when he's in there, he's either he slings the rock, he stays competitive, he doesn't turn the ball over that much. Um yeah, I mean I don't blame him. And I was kind of thinking the same thing, like after what game did he come in for? Um the what was it? Oh, the Chiefs game last year. After him
Oh,
coming in and doing that, and the Eagles game as well this year, both of those games is enough to go off of, to where yes, he didn't win either of those games, but also first game he had a short week because Rodgers had to serve his 1 game suspension. And then this against the Eagles, you're going against arguably the best team in the league right now, and you're jumping in mid game and being thrown to the dogs when you're down. And he still, like, watching that game, I was like, oh shit, they got a chance to come back. Obviously, they come up short, but it's like you give him the right pieces, the right system. The playbook revolves around him, like because the playbook they have revolves around Rodgers. So you plug Love into that, he's obviously not going to be to the best of his potential. You take Rodgers out of the picture, that playbook looks different. It's probably more simplified. Love is a little bit more mobile, so maybe you have a little more option, more bootlegs, stuff like that to get him moving out of the pocket. We don't know what that looks like yet, but yeah, I don't blame the kid for saying he wants out because he's at that point where he can't ride the bench forever. He's eventually gonna go out of his prime. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting offseason once again in Green Bay, and it all revolves around what's 12 gonna do.
And obviously, it would be the best if they could come to some sort of agreement where Rodgers is like, hey, this is going to be my last year. Soak it up, everything that I'm going to teach you, because after this, it's you, kid.
Right.
Like, hopefully, some sort of agreement can come to like that, because that would be nice if we could have Rodgers for one more year. Love gets one more year behind Rodgers. Like, the Packers lose to the Rams, Love should play the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I don't give a
But
fuck. I don't give a fuck what Rodgers says, dude. Like, we all know what he can do. Like, at that point, you're just grandstanding. Let the young kid get in there and fuck get some reps.
yeah, but
Because at,
I'd
at that
say
point, that would make me seem like Rodgers is scared that Love's going to take his job.
yeah. But also it comes down to coaching. And I think LaFleur was asked that exact question. Should they be eliminated from the playoffs? Will we see Jordan Love play? And LaFleur kind of beat it around the bush, but like his answer was, we're gonna put the best guys on the field no matter what. So that sounds like Rodgers is gonna stay in. So long as he thinks Rodgers has the upper hand on Love.
Or deserves it even.
Or does yeah. So at least from a coaching standpoint, it sounds like Rodgers is gonna stay in the rest of the year regardless. Um yeah, I agree. If they get eliminated either this week or next week, whenever they get mathematically eliminated, I'd like to see Love get some reps too. But yeah, we'll again, like I said a minute ago, it's gonna be 3 straight off seasons of what's Rogers gonna do, how like that's gonna be a big question mark once again.
And what in the fucking fuck are the Vikings doing, dude? 23-0.
I'm glad we stayed away from the games today.
Kirk Cousins has 24 yards. Dalvin Cook's got 55. Number one receiver, Hawkinson, 10 yards.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, wow. Go Colts, though. Good for them. I mean, a lot of people did predict the Vikings would dismantle like this, and it has been happening week by week by week by week.
Yeah. Too bad they waited this late into the season to where they're well heck, if they lose out the Viking or the Lions win out, the
Lions,
Lions win the division.
correct.
Let's go Lions.
Let's go Lions. Brand new Lions, dude. Even though I don't want them to beat the Packers and end the Packers season, like to them be out,
I think
I think it's gonna happen.
I think the Packers win. They win the next 3 games. They comes to week 17
And the Lions beat their
and the
ass.
Lions beat them.
I think they beat their ass too.
Yeah.
Like the Lions, they're almost getting a partial fan out of this guy. Like
I've been secretly
I
pulling for them
love
for a
what
long
they've
time.
ever since MCDC's got there, and kind of like obviously I've loved the Lions more and more since I started watching the Pat McAfee show because of Foxy. Like that's the first time I've ever heard anybody talk about the Lions like that. Like,
Right.
and now it's like MCDC coming in, the culture that he brought in, Jamal Williams, former Packer, a lot of former Packer players on their coaching staff. It's like, hey, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're exciting team to watch.
That's for sure.
But yeah, that'll wrap up this little extra segment for this week. Every week, yeah, you'll see our parlays posted on Saturdays, and every Wednesday you'll see episodes like this breaking down a specific topic about a parlay that we talked about with the Cowboys and Leafs. Other weeks we'll be breaking down top 5 lists of anything sports related. Basically, this is going to be kind of our other category. I'll either could be related to sports betting, could not be, but this is kind of going to be kind of our wild card episodes for the week, and those will be posted on Wednesdays at noon Pacific time.
And also, don't forget, we do, since we are gambling degenerates, we do have bets going all week long at all times. So, like I said, like we mentioned in our other episode, don't forget to go to DraftKings, look us up, The Seaver Show, under betting groups, and follow us there. Add us as a friend. Tag along, ride with us on our bets, give us some insight. We'd love to chat with you guys and kick it about sports. We hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next week.